Did you see last night the return of the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad return
You know
after
what?
missing
I got to
16
call out
games.
Coach Alderman. Why? He gave this guy 25 minutes. He would have had 40.
Forget the Twitter noise and the casual fan takes. I'm talking about the dudes who actually have to check him. The ones losing sleep over game plans, trying to make it through 48 minutes without getting embarrassed.
Let me see what he had. 25 minutes, missed 3 shots, 10 boards or 12 boards, 31 points. Like, he's just a constant. He's a constant in every category, every stat. He was just going at his own pace. You know, he wanted me to keep playing my game and stay aggressive, but you know, it's a different feel.
We're witnessing something unprecedented in the modern era. A big man ruling the league without elite speed, without a 40-inch vertical, and without demanding the spotlight. It's all IQ, fundamentals, and command of the game. And consider the context in an age of load management where guys sit out back-to-backs. Jokic can miss a month and return looking sharper than ever. Zero rust, no ramp-up period, just immediate dominance. That tells you he's built differently. But this is where the story takes a turn.
Can I just take a moment to talk about Nikola Jokic making a joke out of the NBA every night?
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I was literally just talking to my good friend Jared Dudley right before we jumped on here. I was just like, this guy is ridiculous. He was like,
the world's best players talk about him like a glitch in the simulation, like the code broke, and now everyone else has to deal with the fallout. That isn't marketing fluff. It's respect blended with bewilderment. The more you hear them talk, the more obvious it gets. Jokic isn't just winning games. He's dismantling defensive principles. He makes elite defenders doubt their instincts. Take away the pass, he buckets. Contest the shot, he whips a no-look pass through traffic. Send a double team, he just grins and dissects your rotation. It's Grandmaster chess versus checkers. He's 3 steps ahead while you're figuring out your opening move. And the stats? They sound made up, but they're legitimate. Since the 2019-2020 season, watch that behind-the-back move right there. Jokic leads the entire NBA in total points, rebounds, assists, and steals. Not just among centers. Everyone. Guards, wings, franchise superstars, he tops them all. That is absolutely bonkers when you process it. And yet, he keeps leveling up. In the 2025-2026 campaign, he cranked it up another notch, averaging nearly 30 points, over 12 boards, and almost 11 assists. The man is a walking triple-double. He's posting those numbers while shooting over 60% from the field and nearly 44% from deep. That's not just efficiency. That's video game cheat code stuff. It shouldn't be possible.
Nikola Jokic leads all players in total assists all the way back since 2020. The Joker is averaging an NBA best 11.1 assists per game this season. That's on pace to set a career high for a second consecutive year. He's also the leader in total points scored since 2020. He's on pace to set a career high in points per game for a second straight season. He's making just over 2 threes a game on 43% shooting from downtown. And the Nuggets superstar, he also leads all players in rebounds per game and in steals, all since 2020. So yes, he is on pace to be the first player in NBA history to lead all players in points, in rebounds, in assists, in steals, and blocks for a single decade.
You've got a 7-footer draining step-back threes, throwing blind passes, running the offense like a point guard, and punishing mismatches in the post, all without breaking a sweat. It's calm, quiet, and lethal. That's why icons like LeBron and Steve Nash discuss him with a different level of reverence. LeBron calls him one of the smartest ever. Nash compares his tempo control to a maestro conducting an orchestra. When Hall of Fame minds are blown, you know you're watching history. And the scary part? Jokic doesn't play with rage. He isn't hunting for SportsCenter highlights. He barely looks like he's trying.
Nikola Jokic, bro. Oh my God, he might be the best basketball player I've ever seen. Like close up, besides myself, to myself.
Coaches call it exhausting. Analysts say he breaks the mold. Is he a 5, a point guard, a forward? Truth is, he's everything at once, bending positional norms until they snap. So when peers call him a glitch, they aren't kidding. He doesn't just defy the blueprint. He shredded it and drew a new one. By the end of this deep dive, you'll understand why the biggest names in the sport speak about him with such awe. And if you dig these kinds of NBA breakdowns, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started.
Obviously, it's a very unique style of basketball, and his vision is amazing. He's an amazing playmaker. Uh, you know, he's the type of guy that, like, if you mess up a defensive coverage, he's gonna find it and expose it. You know, there's not many times you can make a mistake and him not figure that out.
You simply cannot make a mistake around him without him exploiting it immediately. How does the 41st pick a guy who looks like he can barely jump over a phone book, record the highest PER and box plus minus in history? And he's doing this while carrying a massive offensive burden. That shouldn't be possible. Second rounders are usually destined to be role players or energy guys off the bench. Jokic flipped that script completely. That's why players aren't just respectful, they're baffled. It gets weirder. It's not just the volume of scoring, it's the method. You hear guys saying, man, this Joker dude, what is happening?
This goddamn Joker guy, man. What he's shooting like? They say in like the last 5 or 6 games, he's shooting like 77% from the field.
Yeah, I mean, this season in 3 weeks, I think he's at 67% from the field.
Oh my god! And by the way, and this is not like one of those guys back in the day, like all dunks, you know, or all layups. No, this is everything.
All three.
He's not padding his stats with easy lobs or rim runs. He isn't just cleaning up the glass for garbage points. He's torching defenders with soft hooks, wrong-footed floaters, slow-motion step-backs, and awkward fadeaways that look like they should airball but somehow find the bottom of the net. They always fall. He backs you down, pauses, fakes, pivots, and then flings the ball up like he's tossing dirty clothes into a hamper. No panic. Pure control. That drives defenders insane. But the real curveball? The most confusing thing about Jokic isn't even his game. It's his complete indifference to the spotlight. No flexing, no social media branding, no desperate need to be the face of the NBA.
Never seen anything like him. Just the way it's just weird. Like, he's just a weird dude. He'll just, before the game, he's done his little phone playing games, you know. I think he's starting to take his health more serious. But, like, before that, I heard after the season, he just goes back, drinks beer, rides horses, and then tries to get in shape a couple weeks before the season starts. Like, he's just naturally
on a global scale, Jokic isn't the guy the league puts on every billboard. Despite putting up numbers that look like video game glitches, he dominates the game and then immediately fades into the woodwork. He breaks the mold of what a modern superstar is supposed to be. You have had major analysts like Nick Wright eating crow, admitting they were way too slow to realize his greatness. But for the guys on the court, they don't have the luxury of being late.
How much do you think that plays an impact on how we connect to people like a Jokic, or how young people might connect to a dude like Ja, who feels more familiar to him?
I think that's true. That's what happened. But I think that Jokic, if you look at him, he don't want any of the recognition. He don't want any of the accolades. He don't want any of that. It's like when he gets something, it's like, what am I getting this from? Just doing my job. So maybe that turns people off, because usually the guys that look like us or that hoop like us,
He sounds like he is describing a glitch in the Matrix. You can play perfect defense for 23 seconds, but if you blink or hesitate for a millisecond, you are dead. And that is the terrifying part. Even when defenders play it perfectly, Jokic forces errors out of thin air. He plays with angles. He waits for your center of gravity to shift just a fraction of an inch. He baits you into helping one step too far. Look at that series against the Boston Celtics. They had elite defenders and physical wings, but it didn't matter. He kept them confused and reactive, and by the time they figured it out, the game was over. That is the Jokic effect in a nutshell. You think you are disciplined and locked in, but he finds the one crack in the armor you didn't know you had. If you are digging this breakdown of how he is dismantling the NBA, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we are just scratching the surface. The players know that Nikola Jokic's impact goes way beyond the box score. It isn't just his individual scoring. It is what happens to the entire Denver Nuggets ecosystem the second he steps on the floor. The whole team transforms.
I feel like the Nuggets kind of really encompass, like, you know, the terrible narrative of people who don't really understand the NBA, saying that we all play the same.
Right.
Nobody plays like them. You know, nobody can play like them because of what he does.
Even Jamal Murray said it when he had to lead the team while Jokic was out. He confirmed what everyone suspects. When Big Honey is on the court, the game slows down and gets easier for everyone else. That isn't just star power. That is gravity. And that is why defenders feel naked against him. You can't hide your weak links. You can't rely on pure athleticism or hustle. One bad angle leads to a bucket. One late rotation leads to an assist. One bad gamble puts 3 points on the board against you. Once that momentum builds, it turns into an avalanche. You look up and suddenly you are on the wrong end of a 12-2 run that felt like it took 30 seconds. That generates universal respect, not media hype, but real reverence. The guys who pride themselves on being defensive stoppers know the deal. When Bam Adebayo, arguably the most versatile defender in the league, discusses guarding Jokic, he doesn't talk about physical battles.
Team of 2 timeouts remain. Timeout called or a lane violation. Take a look in the meantime.
As I watched this, I thought both Jokic, he triggers those guys breaking the lane like.
Inside those locker rooms, players know who the frauds are. They know who relies on favorable whistles and highlight dunks versus who is just fundamentally better than you at the craft of basketball. Jokic dominates quietly. It is surgical. He isn't jumping over you. He is outsmarting you. He waits, reads the floor, and punishes mistakes. Former teammate Michael Porter Jr. put it best. He described Jokic as weird, but in the best possible way. He doesn't move like a superstar. He doesn't talk trash. He doesn't walk around like he is chasing clout. He is casually dominant, almost detached from the concept of being the man. That is what makes the legend feel so strange. His teammates say he will drop 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists like it is just a random Tuesday, then go back to being the quietest guy on the bus. No speeches, no branding, just a 7-footer bending the league to his will. That calm, almost indifferent energy makes him a nightmare to play against. It hits different when someone is destroying your team without showing a single ounce of emotion. That is the Joker signature. He changes the temperature of the arena without ever raising his voice. He completely rejects the old-school superstar blueprint. You won't hear stories about him trying to prove he is the hardest worker in the gym. He isn't obsessed with his public image or building a brand. He isn't chasing headlines. Yet, every October, he comes back sharper and more efficient than the year before. Even LeBron James has tipped his cap in interviews. You can hear the tone of respect, almost a reluctant admission that, yeah, this guy is just built different. When a 4-time champ talks about you like that, it holds weight. When peers discuss Jokic, they aren't listing stats. They are reacting to a guy who challenges everything they know about basketball. He wins without speed. He crushes teams without jumping. He controls the game without demanding the ball every possession. It messes with people's heads. We are conditioned to think greatness looks explosive and loud. Jokic looks like he is moving in slow motion, yet the impact is undeniable. You have to respect it because you can't stop it. The scoreboard, the advanced analytics, the playoff wins, none of it lies. At this point, Jokic has built a resume that demands entry into the top 10 players of all-time conversation. The numbers are there. The MVPs are there. The consistency is unmatched. But we know how sports media works. Without one more ring, the gatekeepers won't let him into that inner circle. That is just the nature of legacy debates. So, the million-dollar question is this the year Denver grabs title number 2? Is this the season he silences the last few critics for good? Let me know your take in the comments below. And if you want to see how NBA players react to another legend who completely changed the geometry of the game, check out what they really think about Stephen Curry.